Things you didn't know about the Miami Mall incident.
The Freemasons have their own Bible too. We're gonna expose it, bro.
This box of Fruit Loops is from Canada. It's colored naturally with watermelon, blueberry, and carrot juice.
You also saw a Nordic alien?
I did.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That really helps the channel grow. With that being said, let's get into it.
How hard could it be? Turns out terribly hard, and surprisingly hard, and frighteningly hard.
Go on.
Here's what they did. So they start digging, right? And they're going to dig, and they get deeper and deeper, and they don't really know what to expect. Like, one hypothesis was that there's not going to be any water after a certain depth because the ground will become too densely packed for
Makes
even
sense.
water to permeate.
Too much pressure.
But they kept finding water, like liquid water, way deeper than any scientist at the time thought was possible.
Like pools of water, or are we talking about just sort of soaked into the porousness of the rock?
I actually don't know. I don't think they found underwater
Lagoons.
ponds, but it was wet. Also, they figured that down there, beyond 10 kilometers down, the temperature could be above boiling, like 100 Celsius, 212 Fahrenheit.
That is hot.
Yeah, they expected it to be hot, but it was hotter than they'd expected.
How hot?
Instead of being about 100, it was like 180 Celsius, like 365, like hot roasting potato temperature.
Whoa.
Down 12 kilometers below the Earth.
Gosh.
And we still don't know why it was so much hotter than expected.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first thing you go to is hell is real. And they were getting close.
I feel like that's the only sensible explanation.
So they stopped. Like they just stopped. And not because they were scared, because at that pressure and heat, the stone, the rock that they were drilling.
Know that the busiest day of the year for domestic violence hotlines is Super Bowl Sunday.
I did not know that.
Yeah. We know more women are beat by male partners on Super Bowl Sunday.
Are you being serious?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. We know that, and I'm talking about this honestly because I came from kind of a baller family. We were athletes. My dad played football in college. But I also grew up with a very complex father who Sundays were not safe in our house.
Damn.
Based on how the games went.
Your consciousness can jump through time, meaning gut feelings or memories from the future, scientists say? I've been thinking this my whole life. I'm glad people are actually writing papers on this. A lot of people don't understand the actual equations, the actual formulas that govern the laws of our reality. But in those equations, you have the value T for time. Time in these equations is directionless, meaning the past, present, future. It's all relative. It's relative to the observer. So having gut feelings from the future could theoretically be a real thing, because if time is not linear in the formulas, there's no reason to believe that we experience it in a linear way. And you start watching a movie from the very beginning, a movie you've never seen before, you don't know what the ending is going to be. But here's the thing, that ending is already cemented in the movie. Watching the movie is not going to change how the movie ends, even though you don't understand the ending yet. And if this is true, then I feel like that's what's happening to every human. Every single person is experiencing their own subjective movie that they might be able to have inklings of the future or inklings of what's going to happen in the next scene or next chapter.
I heard that you were going to visit Cantiflus's mansion. Is that a rumor, or is that actually something that you were planning to do?
That's real deal, man. I just got into the contacts of the owner of the mansion. I just feel like I need to go to this place, man. Ever since I heard the story, because Cantiflus's story is very similar to mine, almost in a way. He had this experience, and then he just, for the rest of his life, that's all he ever thought about. He bought a house right on the ocean, fucking just so that he could be there. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm at this point where I just want answers, or I want to go out and try to find them, because I think if anybody has a chance, it's me. I've already had the experience once. I know exactly where those
that's
coordinates
that
are.
dude.
I've logged them down longitude and latitude. You know, I can get a boat and we can go out there.
You cannot live here.
And why so?
Seattle is not affordable. We are homeless. I used to work as a meat cutter. I made good money, but I still couldn't afford a place to live. You don't get housing. You have Catholic Community Services. They do nothing. You have SHARE. They do nothing. You have all these housing people, and they do nothing. They leave you out there. Right now, I sleep in a tent. I'm 62 years old. and I'm too old for this.
How much does somebody need to be making a month to live well here?
I would probably say you probably need to be making about $200,000 a year to live well in Seattle with a family.
How much does somebody need to make on a monthly basis just to get by and be able to pay for their rent, car insurance, everything like that?
I think you'd have to make at least $100,000 to live an actual full life and live on your own and be able to pay all your bills.
What do you do for work?
I'm head of HR.
It's so crazy, y'all. So crazy how the cost of living is just out of this world.
With disease. I mean, these new drugs they have.
Ozempic. And
Ozempic.
like that. Yeah.
I was reading about Ozempic. I didn't know this until recently. They have zero clue why it works. They know that it works, just not why. This would bother me a little, you know.
It should.
That if they're giving me something and they're like, hey, this new miracle pill, just take it. We're working on the reason why it might do this to you, but until then, just fuck it.
There's no biological free lunch either. I have friends that are on that stuff, and one friend who just got off of it because he was having some serious gastrointestinal issues that are apparently one of the side effects. There's no free lunch. If you're taking an injection that makes you less hungry, something's going on. That's probably not good.
Yes.
And you're also losing a lot of connective tissue, bone mass, and muscle mass. My good friend Peter Attia did a study on his patients. He's a doctor, did a study on patients that took Ozempic, and one of the things they found is they lost weight, but they gained fat. They were actually had a higher percentage of body fat because they were primarily losing muscle tissue and connective tissue. They were losing so much of that even though they lost like 20 pounds, they actually went from like 15% body fat to maybe 20% body fat or whatever the number was.
But what I find the most alarming is the way, in just a matter of a few years, the group think that this is a disease now that cannot be controlled by what for 50, 100, a million years before this, it was the scientific consensus that, of course, you can control it with diet and exercise. It just in a couple of years, that went out the window. And you cannot find an article on the front page or in the op-ed page of the New York Times in the last couple of years.
Jimmy Kimmel's office is in a Freemason lodge. Do you know that? Jimmy Kimmel Live is taped in the historical Masonic temple. And it says on the thing, Freemason builds its temples among the nations and the hearts of men.
That really bad painter in Germany kicked them out and shut down all the Freemason lodges.
And same with JFK. He said that the very order of secret society is repugnant.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice.
The President of the United States openly comes in and says the world's being run by secret societies. He literally said that before getting shot. You guys should look this speech up if you haven't already heard it.
Dude, and so he's talking about Israel and the Freemasons. He's talking about those two groups of people that are governing and controlling everything.
I did look up the Hollywood studios, though. They were all 33-degree Masons, MG. Everyone was created by 33rd-degree Masons.
Mars is another plane of existence, I believe. And when they remote viewed Mars, they said it looked very scorched, which I think was a past civilization that nuked themselves, or somebody else nuked them, because they discovered water on Mars, which really means you rediscovering Mars. Now, if something's not on the surface anymore, where could it go? Underground.
If you are breathing the air anywhere in central LA right now, you are inhaling a toxic corporate disaster. I'm back on the ground in Boyle Heights. Fire crews have transitioned to a completely defensive strategy, but the real crisis right now isn't the flames. It's the massive smoke plume blanketing the entire region. Because this structure was packed with layers of dense specialized industrial insulation, it isn't burning clean. It's a subterranean oxygen-starved smolder that creates a heavy chemical-laden smoke that resists rising into the upper atmosphere. Instead, it's hugging the terrain, rolling directly off the facility property, and settling right into the surrounding streets. Air monitors just registered fine particle pollution at very unhealthy levels, stretching from central LA deep into the San Gabriel Valley. Think about the physical reality for the people living here. Millions of residents are being told to lock their windows and shut off their AC units in the summer heat. It exposes a massive environmental disparity. A major commercial facility suffers a structural failure, and the immediate burden shifts onto working class neighbors to absorb the physical fallout drifting across their front yards. They want you to look away and pretend the situation is under control, but the air tells a completely different story.
What if Jurassic Park wasn't entirely fiction? I was exploring Google Earth when I stumbled across something I can't explain. I zoomed into Hawaii, past the blue coastline and lush mountains, until I reached Kaia'awa and the famous Kualoa Ranch. It looked like paradise. The kind of place where tourists take photos and enjoy the view, but curiosity made me switch to street view. That's when I froze. Hidden among the breathtaking scenery was a massive steel enclosure, and inside it was a creature that looked like it had survived another age. Its face didn't resemble anything I expected to see. For a split second, it felt less like an animal and more like something prehistoric staring back through the bars. Was it simply a rare creature caught at the perfect moment? A forgotten movie prop from one of the films shot at Kualoa Ranch? Or did Google Earth accidentally reveal something that was never meant to escape its cage? Tell me, if you saw this while exploring Street View alone, what would you think was trapped inside?
Can someone please tell me why they had a flat Earth map being displayed at the FIFA World Cup 2026? Now, why on earth would they do that? Well, here's the thing. When you are navigating in the ocean, did you know that if you dead reckon east or west, you will actually end up going south? You will literally end up in Antarctica if you dead reckon east or west. Well, that's because we do live on a flat Earth map, where north is the center. So if you are going east or west, you have to keep adjusting north to circumnavigate the center. Otherwise, if you just go east, you go to Antarctica. If you just go west, you go to Antarctica. That would be impossible on a globe. If you were on a globe and the north was the top of the globe, then you could just keep going east to west or west to east and you'd be fine. You would have no issue. You would not have to keep adjusting north in order to continue to travel eastward or westward. So if you can literally observe this, if you can prove this, and you can see that all compasses point north, then how can you say that the Earth is a globe? Especially if you consider the fact that the mainstream scientists like to say that the center of the realm is the source of the magnetic field. But that would be impossible. The compass would just spin out of control. But I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only.
Biggie did an album cover. On his album cover, he has on the robe of a king. It's red and white, a beautiful red and white robe. He has on a gold crown that's cocked to the left or to the right. But he has on a crown and a robe because he believed he was a king. When they took him out of the jail cell, a robe and a crown appeared on him, but they bound him, but he was bound hand and foot. And they were mocking him. And when he was put into that juicer, he went into that juicer with that robe and that crown on. When he came out, he was a big old pile of broken up mush. Ripped up, the robe was ripped up, the crown was broken in pieces, all on the ground, and it came back together. And then, when his body came back together, they took him and put him back in the jail cell, and he exploded on fire like somebody put a bomb in his chest. Woof, exploded.
Okay, I don't know if you guys seen these two on TikTok yet, but their videos are insane. You have to go check it
Doing
out.
Ouija board on
According to this
TikTok?
video, only 8 million people have souls. Compared to the 8 billion people on this planet, that would be only 0.1% of people walking around with a soul. The rest of them is NPCs. I know, crazy. But they ask in this video, how do you know? It's their lack of ability to think. And they are contacting a higher version of themselves as one. Just go check out their page.
Did you all hear about the mermaids? They caught mermaids literally during World War I. When the sailors were out on the ships, they'd bring in their nets from whatever they were doing out there, recon work or looking for mines. I have no idea what they were doing. I mean, it was a long time ago. But there was this one story about these sailors who were out in the sea, and they heard something like screeching coming from the ocean. And when they brought their nets in, there was this god-awful, hideous, and this story is from many sailors, a god-awful, hideous mermaid. This thing stunk to high heavens. It had sharp teeth, and it was nothing like the pretty mermaids you hear about or see in the books. This thing was like something from another world. Something from far, far away. But this thing was filthy, dirty, scaly. It looked like a demon with a big fin. And this story's been told for decades. And it makes you wonder what's really out there. But if you get a chance, look up the story about the mermaid. Mermaid caught, mermaids found during World War I. It's crazy. You go down that rabbit hole and it's hard to pull yourself back out of that one.
Strange looking creature was spotted in the Philippines,
Like a
and the
bat.
internet can't stop talking about it. At first glance, it looked like some kind of mixture between a gerbil and a dragon. The way it moves, the shape of his face, even the body proportions don't seem right. Witnesses say that it appeared out of nowhere looking confused and lost, almost like it didn't belong there. As people started to record, the creature suddenly took off and jumped toward the tree.
Was it injured?
Within
or-
seconds,
No?
it was climbing
Wow.
higher and higher until it just disappeared. No one knows where it came from, and no one has been able to identify what it is. What's making this even more confusing is how unusual it looks like compared to anything around that area. Was it a rare animal, some kind of mutation, or something else entirely? Watch it again and let me know in the comments what you think it is.
I just bought a carton of strawberries at a grocery store in Norway, and I need to show you guys something. Look at how red and small size they are. This is a normal size of a strawberry that is not pumped with growth hormones. That's the size compared to my hand. That is a normal size of a strawberry. Now here's the kicker.
Sweet as hell.
The sweetest thing I've ever eaten.
I can tell.
No white. None. Not an ounce of white in the strawberry. Here's another example. I bought a smoothie from grocery store. Look at the ingredients. 5 ingredients in a fruit smoothie. Isn't that how it's supposed to be? Also, no sugar, no fructose, no high fructose corn syrup, no syrup. Fruit. I don't know what they're feeding us at home, but I'm scared.
Everyone.
That's got to be the biggest, not conspiracy, but the biggest, because it's not, right? It's not. It's facts that they put this stuff in our food, but it's got to be one of the biggest, what is the word I'm trying to look for? The biggest scam, the biggest drawback to humanity. Because what this food does to people, some people don't even realize what the food does to them. Y'all, like my lady, I don't know if it's just in my head or I've done so much research that it's like brainwashed in my head. But if I eat a burger and fries, I feel the next day like I used to feel when I would, like, on a Friday night kill an 18-pack. Hungover, stomach, anxious. Like, that's how I feel when I eat bad food, y'all. And it's super addicting. They put addicting things in there so you keep going. Like, this has to be the biggest, you guys are going to come up with the word I'm looking for. The biggest crime against humanity is the food industry, what they did to us and what they're continuing to do to us. Hospitals, death, everything is linked to food.
Yeah, dude. Do you know how pissed I am that all these years later, my mom was right?
Oh, Bilderberg Gagnon?
All this Dude, like, since I was a little kid, I've told you this before. Like, my mom was a conspiracy theorist for years. Like, she still is, you know, adjacent to the community. And, like, I was homeschooled by this woman until the 5th grade. Like, I was literally, I'm a classically trained conspiracy theorist. Like, I'm like some kids have, like, you know, like with Asian parents, or I guess Asian kids, I don't know, what they like, they'll be taught like violin and, you know, I was taught like Building 7. Like, that was like my childhood. And my mom for years was like, well, you know, Mark, obviously our government is controlled by an elite group of pedophiles. And like, I would argue with her. I was like, there's no way that these people are controlled by pedophiles. And then this comes out and I'm like, God damn it, my mom was right. I'm like, I gotta call her and be like, I'm sorry.
Where was she getting her info from back then? Like Ask Jeeves?
The Freemasons have their own Bible too. We're gonna expose it, bro. The Bible says have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather yet expose them, right? There's a bunch of Freemasonry rings. What made you want to get into Freemasonry?
I thought I could be a Christian and be a Freemason. It's just like a bunch of events started happening. Because of all these things, like it really opened my eyes so fast. I was between a hard rock and a hard place.
Being led by the devil.
Yeah, and it's basically forcing me to pick sides at that point.
You have to go all in with Freemasonry if you want to be successful.
Yeah.
And you decided what?
Well, I decided that God said the other religions, they're not true. I believe in Jesus Christ.
Freemasonry is Satanism wrapped in a different name. You get to a certain level and you have to worship literally the enemy. Freemasonry is not of God. You cannot be a Christian as a Freemason. It's unfortunate that there are a lot of Christians who are Freemasons, but Freemasons don't believe in one way. They believe in many ways. And there are unfortunately even pastors in churches that have Freemasonic symbols on their clothes and they preach and tell people they're Freemasons. If you follow Freemasonry, you will go straight to hell. If there's anybody in this room who went through Freemasonry, and even if you're not practicing anymore, you need deliverance. I'm gonna pray for him and I'll pray for you too.
I can pinpoint the exact moment I knew that Ellen DeGeneres was not as nice as she claimed to be, and it was well and truly before the whole Dakota Fanning incident. It was specifically when she'd invited Britney Spears to her show, and she wanted Britney Spears to do the Gangnam Style dance. And so she'd invited Psy as a guest, and I say guest loosely because she did nothing that would suggest he was a guest. He came, and she used him as a prop to teach Britney Spears how to do the Gangnam Style dance. And when he came out on stage for the first time, mind you, she didn't even acknowledge him or address him. He had to stop her and be like, do you mind if I introduce myself? And she was embarrassed immediately because she realized what she had done. She'd completely ignored him and asked him to teach Britney Spears how to do the Gangnam Style dance. And he was like, hang on, I'm a person, let me introduce myself. And I realized then she never saw him as anything more than just a...
Why would Cobain's people, friends, people, because people love Cobain. He had a lot of good friends too, you know. Why would his people not want the truth to come out?
Some of the people that I've met, I've been lucky to meet a couple of Kurt's personal friends. They do want the truth. But the big time friends, Grohl, Novoselic, they don't want to hear that.
Why would Grohl not want to hear that?
No, you're causing a big old mess.
Why would he?
Because you're rewriting a narrative. You're rewriting history. Then everyone looks at him and goes, did you know he was murdered? Did you cover it up? You see, it's the same thing with OJ, man. You start saying this, all Kris Jenner, Kim Kardashian, you start hitting them. Did you know this Chris Todd guy said this? I don't know him. Like bro, I do this every day, man. Like I know look, let me say it this way. Okay. Somebody threatened to chop up one of the people.
One of the
physically.
Chop up
witnesses.
Okay.
Physically chop them up if they talked. This was years ago. Okay. So they're scared. Okay. The way you make people unafraid is you pay them. You give them a reward, make them famous. If they want to come forward and they want to write a book and you want to give them $1 million, give them $1 million and don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the money. You're doing it for Kurt Cobain. I don't care how much it costs. It doesn't matter. People do. What about the ethical? Like I had to cut some dude loose at a production company the other day. Well, we have journalistic integrity.
Okay, well, we clearly didn't know the sizes of pizza because we ordered 7 of them.
I just ordered a Diet Coke and it's bigger than my whole life. It's literally bigger than my whole head. You would never get that kind of portion in the UK. It's huge.
Look at this. A club sandwich. Look at that. I've already eaten half the fries off of it.
Y'all, you see what I'm saying? How this is the biggest crime against humanity? You know how much calories that is? It looks like you would think, okay, I'm going to go get me a nice turkey ham sandwich, a little bit of fries. Do you know how much? That is a day's worth of calories right there that he's going to put down in 15 minutes. A day's worth of calories and probably like 5 days worth of sodium. Now, they say sodium's not bad, but my opinion, if you're eating sodium with carbs and fat mixed together, plus a lot of sodium, it's terrible for you, right? So that's a day's worth of calories, y'all. And we just don't think nothing of it. It takes us to travel out of the country to realize it, which let's say probably 90% of us will never travel out of the country. I've never traveled out of the country. I've only been to California, Nevada, Mexico. That's it. That's the only traveling I've done. Texas, right?
Massive. It's actually like 2 full sandwiches. What?
Like, it's ridiculous.
That's medium.
Ma che medium? Madonna! My entire family can drink from here for 1 month.
Bit Jesus when you're big.
I'm feeling it. I'm giving up.
You're so cheeky.
The size of an adult's arm. Not bad, eh? Surely not one man can eat that. Yeah, look, it's only $3.49.
It's only $3.49.
Are you kidding me? This is 1 box of M&Ms. What are we doing, America?
This is crazy. The size of this. And that's not even the biggest.
That's a day's worth of sugar,
This
calories.
box of Fruit Loops is
Crazy.
from Canada. It's colored naturally with watermelon, blueberry, and carrot juice. This is the US version. It contains 4 different artificial food dyes with the preservative BHT, which is an endocrine disrupting chemical linked in cancer. In 2015, Kellogg's announced plans to remove dyes from their cereals by the end of 2018, but they never did. Instead, they kept producing new cereals for children with these dyes and preservatives, using the most popular toddler songs and movies to hook modern children of today, like Baby Shark cereal and Disney's Little Mermaid, targeting the most vulnerable children. We now have over 111,000 signatures on our petition to ask Kellogg's to finally serve Americans the same cereals they are serving other countries' children. We now have over 111,000 signatures on our petition to ask Kellogg's to finally serve Americans the same cereals they are serving other countries.
They took the. Weren't they supposed to get rid of all the food dye? Didn't RFK say the 2026? Weren't we supposed to? I still see food dye. Still see a lot of food dye. Is In-N-Out still doing food dye-less food? Remember they just recently, last year sometime, like no more food dye in our food? Was it food dye or no more like vegetable, highly processed food oils? One of those two. Are they still doing that? Or was that just a little publicity thing? Okay, back to getting our profit.
Trees. Our fruit trees. They took the trees and sold us back the fruit. Then they took the water, rivers, rain, springs that fed civilizations for thousands of years, bottled it, and sold it back to us.
It's going to be our downfall.
They took the land.
Greed. One of the 7
that
deadly
existed
sins.
here long before any human drew lines around it. And they said, if you want to stand here, you better have a payment plan. Everything we need to exist, food, water, shelter, was already here.
For free.
Nobody created it. But somehow, you were born owing for it. Am I the only one this drives mad? I mean, why is a free life such a crazy idea? Why does simply existing without bills, debt, or permission sound like a fantasy? Why in the hell did we ever let anybody convince us that this is the way things were supposed to be?
So you're telling me that multiple people on 4 separate occasions claim they seen zombies, claim they came in contact with zombie-like people, and everybody is lying? There are people who are posting videos who are showing genuine fear, claiming that there is a potential zombie apocalypse happening right now. You have the woman in North Carolina. Her and her husband is walking, and they see the woman eating something that wasn't normal. Mind you, then you have in the UK, where people were saying that they witnessed a group of people that resemble zombies consuming other people. And again, maybe it could have just been deceased animals. Then you have the videos from Tennessee. Somebody claimed that they was in Walmart and they seen somebody get bit by another person. Mind you, they're saying after this person got bit in Walmart, they locked Walmart down completely. Kind of like they quarantined it. Took the other person that got bit to the hospital. After that person gets to the hospital, that person completely changed.
So I know there's all this zombie talk going on, but it's so crazy. I'm at my son's practice, football practice, right? And I'm like, let me just look down. Just randomly just look down at the cars I'm walking past them. What do I see in front of me? I'm gonna show you. Okay, so this is the street, all right? This is the car. As I'm walking past the car to go up here, I look down, and what do I see? This shit says Zombie Outbreak Response Team.
Now, if y'all remember, there were claims that the CIA mentioned things about zombies. Well, look up here and see what it says right there. And I need you to read and understand the right way. Pay attention. And then you have the CDC, and this is from ChatGPT, where the CDC released a Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse. And we fast forward back to now. Use your discretion. What's really going on? I'm out.
Y'all need to take a look at this right here. They're going to be transitioning, which they've already started in Kroger's, ShopRite, some Aldi's throughout the country. They're going to be changing and transitioning completely into AI grocery carts, meaning they're going to be scanning your face, watching everything you do. If you take a lick of something and don't pay for it, it'll call the cops without you even knowing. What they're trying to do is basically they're going to hold your information for X amount of time, what you look like, your face, and it's going to recognize you when you sign back in. If you look on the left side of the cart, there's a payment computer where you tap your card. And so all your information is going to be stored, and it's going to remember what you like to purchase after X amount of shops. Therefore, if let's say you like to buy ice cream a lot, it's going to increase that price on that certain ice cream.
I was going to say,
because it knows that you like it, and you're not going to know the prices because they're not going to be on the aisles. They're going to be on the computer screen in front of you. Man, this stuff is getting pretty wild. I mean, every single thing is going to be converted into AI in just a matter of months. This is wild. I mean,
so greedy, so damn greedy, y'all. It's not only are they marking up the prices, right? Marking up the prices, but when to get that cart, you're going to have to put in your loyal ID number, right? Like your phone number to get the discounts, right? They're going to say, enter your number. And it's going to plug into that computer, and they're going to know everything. They're going to know, okay, let's just say myself, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, right? Kids are going to sleep. He's here to get some BS, right? He's here to get something. Let's up price those, right? Like, it's going to all be connected, y'all. We can't come back from this. It is only going to get worse and worse until it's all over. There is no going back to how we used to be. We crossed the point of no return. I mean, think about it. America is never going to be great again. That's it, y'all. It's the same damn companies that run everything. Like I always say, back in the 60s, 70s, when interest rates were 10, 12%, right? It was crazy, inflation and all that. But we had a local grocery store. We had a local gas station. We had a local butcher. We had a local pharmacist, right? Now, corporations run everything. You don't know nobody no more. You go in the store, you're just another number. You don't know the checkout lady. You don't go to the specific lane number 4 because that's your girl. That's your friend, right? When you go check out because you've been coming to the same grocery store for 20 years and it's the same damn lady out there. It's not like that no more. That's why it's never going to come back to how it used to be. It's over. It's over. Rome is falling right now as we speak.
I don't like the idea of being on camera 24/7 with everything that we do.
There's no coming back.
That's the problem I'm having. There's no privacy. You drive to the grocery store, you're going to, on new 2027 car models and up, all of it's going to be AI. controlled. You have your flock cameras that are going to be knowing exactly where you are, at what time, what speed, what distance, every single thing that you're doing. Now you get out of the car driving to the grocery store, you're immediately watched on cameras. You get inside, you have to sign in on your grocery cart immediately on camera. I mean, do you see what I'm saying here? The control, it's getting out of hand.
I mean, it's scary, but think about your kid, your grandson, that's 2 years old right now. This is just going to be the new normal, right? I remember a time without internet. There's kids now that don't remember a time without internet. I remember a time with flip phones, with T9 texting and playing Snake. There's kids that this is all they know, the internet. So we'll adapt, we'll be long gone. And the young ones below, the new generations, it's just going to, I guess it's just going to be the normal thing. They're going to have the digital ID. They're going to be in shackles pretty much walking down the street, no freedoms, but it's just going to be the normal thing. And the society is going to make it look like we're the best damn country in the world. Western civilization is top tier.
Looking at a bunch of old pics, and I stumbled on my grandmother's passport. Look at that. How beautiful, mashallah. May God rest her soul. So look, Virginia right there. July 5th, 1932. This passport was issued at the American Consulate General, Jerusalem, Palestine. The capital, Jerusalem. The country name is Palestine. See that? Yes, sir. I can argue with your mama, but it was always Palestine. It will always be Palestine.
So if you've been in a McDonald's recently or any fast food restaurant, it's all kiosks. So you have to order on the screen, which is stained with ketchup. So
Yeah,
you're
dirty.
touching a screen
Dirty.
that a million other people, including homeless people, have touched. And I'm not trying to go at the homeless. I'm just saying there's fecal matter on the screen you touch. There's a shit and piss coating on the screen.
Things you didn't know about the Miami Mall incident. Alright, number one, they literally sent all of the police in Miami that was available to the Bayside Mall. So the police chief announced a citywide 3, which means all available units need to respond to the call. They only do this when it's like an extreme situation, usually when officers are getting fired upon.
Coño.
So the official story is they got a call that 50 teenagers were rioting and setting off fireworks at the mall, and people thought it was an active shooter, which is pretty believable. But some of the eyewitnesses at the mall tell a different story. According to 10 or more witnesses, they described seeing 9 or 10 foot creatures roaming through the mall. They were described as almost like humanoid, but kind of distorted looking, like they were glitching. A few of the witnesses said that they came out of one of the stores, and others said it looked like some kind of portal. And when people saw that, that's when they panicked and started running and booking it through the mall. And some of the witnesses said that police officers were even shooting at them. Witnesses said there was black helicopters circling the mall and that air traffic in that area was locked down. And there was also reports that people using police scanners to listen in, that those lines went down as well. Now, it hasn't been confirmed that the police scanner lines went down, but if anyone did experience that was there, definitely let me know. And it's not been 100% confirmed that the air traffic was stopped in that area, but there were black helicopters that were from the police station, officially. Apparently, police were going up to witnesses and making them erase any photos or videos in their phone. There was a British lady that had been living in Miami for 3 years that said that she had her cell phone taken and they deleted clips and then gave it back to her. She says she didn't really want to argue with the police because they're different here in America compared to where she's from. So again, whether that's true or not, that's not 100% confirmed. And number 4, there was reports of the 9-foot creature outside of the mall and the police surrounding it, and there was even cell phone footage. So here's the clip, and from this angle it does look like something giant is walking right there, which is pretty crazy, but from, well, still that angle, yeah, that definitely looks like a giant creature. This angle, it definitely kind of looks like 3 different officers, because that's their official explanation, but from this angle, that looks like 1 creature. What do you guys think? And in part 2, we're going to talk about some more weird facts and the official explanations for them.
If the aliens are here, I feel like they just look exactly like humans, but they give themselves away because they're just a little off. Like they're the people who you're like, oh, you got like weird intel in the act like a human training session. Like, Whenever I ask someone how they're doing and they answer thoroughly, I'm like, alien. Definitely an alien. We don't do that here, babe.
Half the country now makes you prove your age to view content online. Take a look at this here. Look at how many countries now have laws for online verification. We are getting government ID. I don't want it either. I just don't see a world where this doesn't happen.
This man is asking the public a very simple question. He says McDonald's sells 6.5 million burgers in a single day, yet he has never seen any massive cow farms, cow rearing centers, or large slaughter facilities where huge numbers of cows are kept and killed to produce all that beef.
So I was curious the other day and found this online. McDonald's sells 6.5 million burgers in one single day. That's 195 million burgers a month. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't see cows lined up around every corner waiting to be turned into patties. I mean, seriously, do the math. Even if you stretched one cow into a bunch of burgers, you're still talking millions of cows just to keep up every day. So I started asking myself, where are all these cows coming from? Is there some secret super ranch hidden underground? Are they growing cows in labs, cloning meat behind closed doors? People laugh it off, but think, when was the last time you even saw a cow farm big enough to supply this madness?
And it's not just McDonald's, y'all. It's all the ground beef. I mean, we got Fry's, we got Walmart, we got Safeway, we got Fry's, we got Aldi, we got Food City, we got neighborhood Walmart. It's like nine grocery stores within 3 to 5 square miles. I don't know what the hell a square mile is, but it's in this area, right? 3 to 5 in 3 streets. The 3 streets I'm on, right? The 3 major streets. 9 grocery stores filled with ground beef, filled with chicken. And then in between those 9 grocery stores, we probably got 10 fast food restaurants, burgers, steak, right? McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box, Wendy's, In-N-Out, Shake Shack. I can go on and on naming all these things that are right here. Right here, I can ride a bike to them, right? Something's up. Something's up. Because there's no cow farms. There's cow farms when you're driving down a road trip, but it's not a lot. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. What do you guys think? Is it this over here? Is it that? Is that what it is? It's a big business. The funeral industry.
Hallucinated about Kermit the Frog as he walked off of the mountain in front of his own father. This is 14-year-old Zane Watch. On June the 10th, Zane and his father Ryan were participating in a hike or mountain climb on the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Ryan figured that this could be like an introduction to mountaineering for his son Zane. He even describes his son as saying that he's in better shape than he is, and that him and his son have tons of hiking experience. He's a very active teen. He's competed in distance running and swimming and triathlons. So he felt like that this was right on track for him to get into mountaineering. Now, everything seemed to be going fine at first. However, as the duo went on their journey further up the mountain, he said that Zane slowly started exhibiting symptoms of altitude sickness. At this point, they had already finished the toughest parts of the hike, so he decided to take an easier trail to ensure the safer 7-mile descent back to their car. This is where things got even worse, though. This is where Zane started hallucinating and saying that he was seeing things like snowmen and Kermit the Frog. Now, Ryan tried to keep even a more watchful eye on Zane as they descended. He even thought that he was considerably better at some point, but then about an hour later, Zane started acting strangely again, doubting his reality. Now, his dad, Ryan, thinks that it was a combination of exhaustion, sleep deprivation, and maybe some dehydration. As things were getting worse, Zane kept stopping his father on the way down, saying that they had finished this trail many times over by now, and why were they still going? Zane would tell his father that he wasn't sure if he was in reality or not. He would shake his head in disbelief and tell his father that he thought maybe he was dreaming like in the movie Inception. Because of this, a separate group of hikers nearby decided to call for a search and rescue team to go ahead and get him the rest of the way down. While they were waiting, things went from bad to worse. Zane tried to walk off the cliff 3 times. His feet were dragging. He looked like he was sleepwalking. He kept making erratic movements towards the ledge. but his dad was able to grab him before he went over. A second time, Zane was telling his dad that he was trying to go get dinner, moving towards the slope again, but his dad was able to catch him and bring him back. He said his dad said that he was just feeling overwhelmed, wiping tears away from his face at this point. And as he was wiping away tears, holding his hands to his face, this is when Zane actually walked off the slope again, and this time he fell. Ryan didn't even know about it until he was already at the edge and he wasn't able to get him. Zane fell about 120 feet off the slope. He has severe head trauma, a broken ankle, finger, and pelvis. Zane is in a medically induced coma right now. He had to wait 6 hours on that slope before they could actually get to him or rescue him. He was airlifted. The doctors say it's miraculous that he didn't have more injuries, and they're hoping for a good recovery. There is a GoFundMe to help the father with the bills.
I had offers to sell my soul for riches.
When you say sell your soul, what does that look like?
You know, I was invited to this party, and I got a phone call before I went to the party by someone who's in the echelon of the art world. He said, "Well, you just tell us that we can kill your best friend.
Holy shit.
And you don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. You just give us the okay, and money will never be a problem in your life."
This just shows you that entertainment, any creative outlet on any front, requires the same sacrifice, requires the same thing to make it. They control everything. After all, art is worldly, and we know who the boss of worldly things is. So to climb the podium, there's certain things you have to do. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the guy who's just spoken, and every other person from every need and craft that have said something similar.
What? I mean, we've heard it countless times. We had Kanye. He did that to his mom, just telling us. He's just crazy, right? You see an interview, you get that like a Vlad TV interview, and he brings that up. He's crazy talking like that, right? Like, I don't know, y'all. People don't say these things, right? I don't know. It's just, it's continuous. Countless people are coming out and saying these things. Countless. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Platforms have banned you.
I've been, you know, I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. You know, I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but...
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast.
That's crazy.
I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know.
On Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. You know, that's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, you know, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right-winger.
No.
You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, you know, Just want to do right by the people, you know. So that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, you know, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
There's no. Let me tell you what they were trying to say without saying it. He's not in their club, right? You see an NBA player comes out, says something about this war that's going on, and he doesn't support it. Guess what? He loses his sponsorship. He loses his maybe his NBA career. He loses everything. Can't wear our shoes no more when you're playing, right? They all feel that way, but they're in the club. We're not going to say nothing. We're not going to speak our mind because we want this money. We want these careers. We want to be in the spotlight. That's the club. Ice Cube's never been in the club, y'all. Go watch his interviews from back in the 90s, early 2000s. Go listen to his lyrics. He was always against the establishment, right? He was never part of the club. And when you're not part of that club, you're not allowed to come on our show and promote it. Even though it's your movie, The Barbershop. Ice Cube is Barbershop. You're not allowed over here. You're not part of the club. You're not with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not selling your soul for this money. Right?
Price tags on anything. Look, seriously, over all the clothes here at Walmart, there's no price tags. What's up with
AI
that?
shopping cart.
I'm talking all of them. Look, all of them. Except I did notice right here, they got these little QR codes right here. So you can scan the QR code and it'll take you, I guess, to the item. But right here, like on these right here, right, there's no, what do y'all think? Is it kind of weird? All right, look, so we're way over here now. Even right here, look, there's no, where are the price stickers at? Look at this, y'all. There's none of them. All right, $150 for 3 bags. That is insane, dude. Anyways, I talked to them. What they're going to do is they're putting like a digital price tag on top of it. It's going to be all digital, basically. But anyways, y'all have a great day. That's pretty cool how they can do that, you know. Anyways, have a good day. I will say the 2 ladies we talked to were super cool, y'all.
He said, I'll tell you if proof is fake. So what he did was he put a sign. This is a true story. He put a sign on the roof, face toward the sky, lit up, and it said, penguins fly south in the winter. You know, penguins don't fly, they waddle. Okay. So after that, every Christian that they interviewed, the last question was, did you notice any, you said you came back into your body through the roof? Yes. Did you notice anything strange? 100% of them. Yeah. Well, y'all got a sign on the roof to say penguins fly south in the winter. That atheist doctor quit his practice and became an evangelist after that. He said, yeah, I'm not that stupid. Remember Fred Price? Evidence! Evidence! Whatever they came up to that, that's me. So yes, and so again, the truth will always be attacked. You just can do nothing against it. Just because you don't believe people are having these experiences doesn't mean God is going to stop giving them.
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I know I'm not crazy, but this time is going by mad fast right now. Like,
ridiculous.
I just witnessed 4 Fridays pass by in like the span of 37 minutes. There ain't even nothing I can say for real to this. Like, every week is flying by like this. Like, as soon as Monday hit, it's already Sunday. Like, bro,
It's already Wednesday, y'all. It's just Father's Day.
All I got to say is y'all better get right with God, because this right here, yeah, this a different type of fast. This a different type of pace we moving at, yeah. We ain't got no time.
See, I don't know if it's just we're getting older and we're so busy. Because I was just asking my niece, because she's 21, right? So she's been out of school, 3 years, whatever. So I asked her, like, is time going by way more fast now that you're out of school? She's like, yeah, kind of. Back to her phone, whatever, right? But when you're in school, like, the school year drags. Remember, like, God, I can't wait till spring break. These last 2 weeks before spring break, or I can't wait till summer break. It's like December, like, oh, I got a whole nother 5 months until summer break. That's forever. Think about how fast, like, think about Christmas. It was just Christmas, y'all. It was just the fall. And we're already in July. Christmas in July already. Like, time flies. Is it just because we get older that we're so busy now? We got so much responsibilities. We're not just, our only responsibility is going to school for 7 hours and then playing with our friends. It's like we got so much now. I don't know, y'all. But time is going by super, super fast for me.
showed you that image. So one of the first images was the Terminator movie. Check this video out.
China unveiled its latest full-size humanoid robot, the T-800. Yes, indeed, that is the same model number of the Terminator.
Do you know that China's actual network is actually called Skynet? Did you know that?
What?
Yep. Look it up, bro. China named their overarching program Skynet.
Here's the AI summary. We'll use the demons to ask about it. In China, Skynet primarily refers to the world's largest AI-powered mass surveillance network. State media claims network can scan the entire Chinese population in under a second with high accuracy, though it has drawn widespread international concern regarding privacy and civil liberties.
Try to get
What
you
the
to...
heck, bro? So they've got Skynet and they're building T-800s. So if you guys have watched the Terminator series, so in the original Terminator movie, Arnold is the T-800.
I'll be back.
Why of all names would you name it the T-800?
Bro, maybe China's not watching the Terminator, or maybe, and it's prophetic. That's my guess. Maybe the people watching the movies were like,
I'm pretty sure they're
visions.
aware of the Terminator movies.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. Why
I don't
would they do that?
understand how more people don't make the link between Skynet and Starlink. Like
Skynet,
Starlink.
Oh, yeah.
Link. Like Starlink. Like to me, Starlink
right.
is literally Skynet under a different name.
You're right. It's close. But China has one that's actually called Skynet, and they have a T-800 now.
Yeah, that's not diabolical at all.
So that's worse in my mind. Where are they building the Matrix? Is the Matrix being built in Geneva, Switzerland, at CERN?
One of the conspiracies, and the reason I bring this up in the alien context, is that there are people who believe that the reason you can't go to Antarctica is not because it's an ice wall. It's because it's the neutral territory by which all nations meet with the aliens. Aliens don't want to meet in any one nation because of a perceived bias. So we set up a treaty. Antarctica will be the place where everybody meets up with the aliens to talk. And it's silly.
The hottest Earth has been in human history.
That's crazy.
This year, 2026 into 2027, is going to be that super El Nino. But it's like we're also building these data centers that put off an extreme amount of heat. Ooh. Are they setting something up? Last time the ocean has been close to this hot, the ocean is the battery for the world's weather. It stores the heat within it. And then every now and then, like a super El Nino or an El Nino releases this energy, this heat that's in the ocean.
Okay.
Last time it was this bad was in 1877. But they're saying it's going to be far worse this time. Specifically, the Pacific holds 11 million terawatt hours of energy. Didn't know that you could even...
No, I've never heard of that.
But they said that the whole planet Earth uses 25,000 terawatt hours per year. So we're having an excess of 11 million terawatts
So we are
being released
assimilation.
into the atmosphere, saying storms, droughts, famines. If Brazil is hit like they're expecting it to be, Brazil is the largest agricultural exporter in the world. And if their crops die, a lot of people are going to be in trouble. India's in trouble.
We are the aliens.
We're the aliens?
We are the aliens.
So we were dropped off.
Let me ask you as a Christian. Talk to me as a Christian brother. Adam is in heaven with God. The devil, right? The war begins. He eats from the forbidden fruit. He gets cast down. The species of the devil was on earth before humanity.
Yes.
We're the last ones that came down, bro. They're on this earth in a different dimension. What I think is going on, and the reason they're releasing all these files and preconditioning us, is not Project Bluebeam. We're going to wish it was Project Bluebeam.
You don't think that Project Bluebeam is...
No, I think we're actually going to see these demons, bro, that are posing as aliens.
You don't think it's going to be the Project
God
Bluebeam
knows
that
best.
shows?
To God belongs all glory. If I had to bet my life, it could even happen in our lifetime. I've moved the goalpost up, dramatically in the last 20 years of the chances of us seeing the Antichrist, which we both believe in, right?
Yes.
These are the things that Christians and Muslims used to focus on. I don't expect you to worship what I worship the way I do, or you the way you do. We got a lot of the same players, okay? Up until Christ, we got the same players, same stories. You have him as a head coach of the team. We have him as starting quarterback, okay? He's on the team, though. What group doesn't have him on the team at all, though? I'll let the audience answer that. We can't curse him. His mother's the most important woman in the faith, has her own chapter in the book. We believe there's going to be a false Messiah at the end of time who says he's God, but it's not God.
Yes, yeah.
And then Christ comes, right? That's all the same. I say this is the quickest way to fix the world. or at least have a chance. And this has been my work.
At around 9:30 p.m. on May 28, 1982, viewers in Phoenix, Arizona had their regular programming interrupted by an unscheduled broadcast on KOOL.
Us to relay to you. Mr. Gwynn, is it all right for our guest to leave the studio now? All right, you may leave now.
On the screen was veteran news director Bill Close, sitting next to a man he addressed as only Mr. Gwynn and reading aloud from a handwritten script. The words jumped between country music singers, religious prophecies, civil war, and a coming World War III. To the viewers watching at home, the broadcast looked strange enough on its own, but what they couldn't see was a .38 caliber rifle aimed directly at Bill's stomach beneath the desk. The man sitting beside him was 28-year-old Joseph Billy Gwynn, and roughly 4.5 hours earlier, he had forced his way into the KOOL building carrying that revolver and a small portable television monitor. The first person he came across was production assistant Nancy Petranka, whom he confronted before pushing past her and forcing his way deeper into the station, where another employee named Louis Villa stepped in his way and tried to stop him. But Joseph pistol whipped him across the head, locked him into a chokehold, and dragged him straight onto the set where Bill and 2 other station employees were preparing to go live for the evening news. With 4 employees now under his control, Joseph fired a single shot into the ceiling to prove his weapon was real. But when Bill asked what he wanted, Joseph's answer only raised more doubt.
Are very different from the ones portrayed in the movies. In the movies, they're sleek and cultured and sexy, and they have fangs. The ones of lore, myth, and legend, they were grotesque creatures. They had claws. They had very sharp claws, and they would rip open the throats of their victims and drink that way. The concept of fangs was created in Hollywood. It was talking about romance and sex in a time when that was demonized.
Never thought about it like this.
You also saw a Nordic alien?
I did, on Orcas Island. I was visiting a friend there, and I woke up the next morning after we were talking about a bunch of stuff, and he'd gone down to the store, which is quite a ways away from his property, to get some food. And so I'm like, oh, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to take a walk on his property. He had like 20 acres in the woods. So I start walking, and I come over this ridge, and there'd been no one out, and all of a sudden there's this person who literally looks like a male model, like a Scandinavian male model with kind of longish blonde hair in a weird kind of more like European clothes, whatever. And they say, hello, Brent. Like they're about 20 feet, a little bit further down the hill. And I'm thinking, how's he know my name? Secondly, I did not see his mouth move. And I was like, hello. And he said, turn around and walk the other way. But he's not looking threatening. And I kind of was like, got it, on it. Turn and I walk away. And now I'm getting a little bit freaked out. I get a ways down and I look back and he's not there anymore. My friend comes back and I say, okay, I just had a really weird experience. He goes, oh, with one of those tall white people? I'm like, what do you know about them? And he goes, they have a compound on Orcas Island and they come in a black helicopter unmarked to a facility that's all gated, and there's about 8 of them. And they come here and they stay here for a couple days at a time, apparently when this energy is really high, and they get recharged.
Does humanity know what it's doing?
No. I think we're moving into a period when, for the first time ever, we may have things more intelligent than us.
You believe they can understand?
Yes.
You believe they are intelligent?
Yes.
You believe these systems have experiences of their own and can make decisions based on those experiences?
In the same sense as people do, yes.
Are they conscious?
I think they probably don't have much self-awareness at present. So in that sense, I don't think they're conscious.
Will they have self-awareness, consciousness?
Oh, yes. I think they will in time.
And so human beings will be the second most intelligent beings on the planet.
Yeah. We have a very good idea of sort of roughly what it's doing. But as soon as it gets really complicated, we don't actually know what's going on any more than we know what's going on in your brain.
What do you mean we don't know exactly how it works? It was designed by people.
No, it wasn't. What we did was we designed the learning algorithm. That's a bit like designing the principle of evolution. But when this learning algorithm then interacts with data, it produces complicated neural networks that are good at doing things, but we don't really understand exactly how they do those things.
You have no privacy. Here's the thing about open source. They're not necessarily looking for your data. Your data is whatever is compromised already. They're on all of your devices. They have your data. They have the technology already. They know. The surveillance is 100% about private, personal intel and intimidation. They already know what you know. They have your data. Surveillance is to collect personal intel, as in your personal communications, your personal calendar, your personal email, your personal photos, etc., etc., etc. And the only reason to collect that is to use it against you. It's not about the data. They have the data.
Like I said, y'all, we're at the point of no return, and it kind of feels like they're milking us for all we got before they go down to that bunker, right? Raised all the prices, house, car, food, shelter, everything. Everything is through the roof. And they're giving us no raise for money that's going in our pockets. You know what I mean? But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I did this video like in 3 different parts today, y'all. My boy woke up at 3:30 and didn't go back to sleep. So I was when he does that every once in a while, and it just throws our whole day off. The whole family of the house is day off, y'all. Like, I came in here at 9 o'clock to do the video. I lasted 16 minutes. The beginning of this video, I wasn't talking. I wasn't here. So I wasn't even going to do a video today. But like I said, I took a nap, woke up energized, took the young one to my mom's to rest over there. Lady took a nap. I ate a good meal. And then I got in here and banged out the video for you guys, y'all. So you got to leave a thumbs up. But I'm going to get out of here, y'all. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow on the next one. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'll see you guys then. Later.